Welcome to Herdley, where books turn into 3 stories, refreshing your knowledge in minutes. Today we study together Brian Klaas's book, Fluke, Chance, Chaos, and Why Everything We Do Matters, in which we probe into the profound impact of seemingly trivial events, revealing how chance and chaos shape our lives and history. Brian Klaas grew up in Minnesota, earned his D.Phil at Oxford, and is now a professor of global politics at University College London. Don't go away, Herdley the editor will be right back with the story. Today, we dive into 3 fascinating stories that illustrate how minor, seemingly insignificant moments can have monumental consequences. We'll explore a near miss with destiny in a weather forecast, a child's simple decision that changed the course of an empire, and an unexpected twist during a routine political maneuver. These stories will not only capture your attention, but also provide intriguing talking points to ponder. The Missed Hurricane. Imagine a world where a simple weather report could alter history. In 1944, Edward Lorenz, a meteorologist, accidentally stumbled upon chaos theory while trying to predict the weather. Lorenz discovered that tiny differences in initial conditions could lead to vastly different outcomes. For instance, a small variation in temperature, just a fraction of a degree, could be the difference between a sunny day and a catastrophic hurricane. One particularly memorable event occurred during World War II. The Allied forces were planning the D-Day invasion, a crucial operation that would determine the outcome of the war. The invasion was highly dependent on favorable weather conditions. Lorenz's early chaos theory came into play when a minor miscalculation in weather prediction nearly led to the cancellation of the entire operation. The Allied meteorologists debated endlessly over whether the storm brewing over the English Channel would pass in time. At the last minute, they decided to proceed, and the invasion was a success. However, had the weather shifted just slightly, the outcome could have been disastrous. As Lorenz's work suggested, the flap of a butterfly's wings in Brazil could set off a tornado in Texas. This story reminds us of how small, seemingly inconsequential factors can ripple through history, changing the course of events in unimaginable ways. The Pebble and the Empire. Next, let's delve into the story of a simple child's play that altered an empire. In ancient Rome, a young boy named Lucius, playing in the streets, kicked a small pebble into a nearby alley. The pebble struck the hoof of a horse that belonged to a messenger carrying vital information for Emperor Augustus. Startled, the horse reared up, causing the messenger to fall and break his leg. As a result, the critical message was delayed by several days. This delay gave Augustus's rivals the time they needed to organize a coup. The conspirators had learned that Augustus was planning to consolidate his power, effectively ending the Roman Republic. With the additional time, they were able to gather their forces, ultimately leading to the infamous assassination attempt that nearly toppled the empire. Historians often overlook these minor details, but as the saying goes, for want of a nail, the shoe was lost. For want of a shoe, the horse was lost. The child's innocent act of kicking a pebble set off a chain reaction that almost altered the fate of one of history's greatest empires. The Missed Handshake. Finally, consider the story of a missed handshake that changed the course of a nation. During a critical diplomatic meeting in the 1960s, 2 prominent world leaders were supposed to solidify an agreement that would prevent an impending war. The meeting was tense, and every detail was scrutinized. As the leaders approached each other, one extended his hand while the other, distracted by an aide's whisper, missed the gesture. That small, missed handshake, an act that should have been nothing more than a formality, led to a moment of awkwardness and tension. The slight was perceived as an intentional insult, and the relationship between the 2 nations deteriorated rapidly. What could have been a moment of peace spiraled into a diplomatic disaster, and within months, the 2 countries were at war. Thousands of lives were lost, because of what was initially a minor miscommunication, a small oversight in the grand scheme of things. Reflecting on these stories, it becomes clear that our lives are often shaped by what seem to be insignificant moments. Whether it's the flap of a butterfly's wings, a child's playful kick, or a missed handshake, the smallest events can lead to monumental consequences. The underlying point here is profound. We often think we can control our destinies by making wise, calculated decisions. But the truth is that so much of what happens in life is beyond our control. The world is a complex, chaotic system where tiny changes can lead to dramatically different outcomes. Recognizing this can help us embrace the uncertainty in our lives and perhaps approach the future with a bit more humility and open-mindedness. As the editor of Herdley, through learning these stories, we might better prepare ourselves to accept that in the grand tapestry of life, even the smallest threads can have a significant impact on the entire design, guiding us to a future where we are not just passive observers, but active participants in a world shaped by chance and chaos. The profound impact of seemingly trivial events is a powerful reminder that chance and chaos often have a far greater influence on our lives and history than we'd like to admit. From near-miss weather forecasts to a child's pebble altering an empire, we've seen how small moments can ripple through time, leading to monumental consequences. One final story that exemplifies this is the tale of the Wright brothers and their historic first flight in 1903. Just days before their successful attempt, a small, unremarkable gust of wind damaged their aircraft, forcing them to make last-minute repairs. This delay allowed for a critical improvement to their engine, which ultimately made their flight possible. Had that gust of wind not occurred, they might have attempted to fly too soon, leading to failure. The world could have seen a different story of aviation history altogether, with someone else potentially taking credit for the first powered flight. This story, like the others, serves as a testament to the idea that seemingly insignificant events can shape the course of history in profound ways. It underscores the key point. In a world governed by chaos and chance, even the smallest details can have the most significant impact. As the editor of Herdley, through understanding these moments, we can better appreciate the delicate balance of life and perhaps learn to embrace the unpredictability of the future, knowing that even the smallest actions can set the stage for great change.